Hey, everybody, welcome back to the podcast. Today, I'm going to produce a segment called the Met Gala, and Sean's going to do.
I'm going to tell you about a black man being shot in his own home.
Oh, boy. Let's go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Manny and Sean Experience podcast. If you're new here and you're not aware, I wear aligners to strengthen.
To strengthen or straighten?
To straighten my teeth and my vulture bite that I had, I guess. And sometimes they just get in the way. So I apologize. Welcome back to the pod. My name is Manny.
And I'm Sean.
And we're happy to have you with us. Thank you once again for tuning in to another episode. We hope everybody out there is doing well, taking care of themselves.
All the things.
Yes. Welcome to episode 76.
Yay.
Yay. Oh, shout out to everybody who helped us reach 500 subs.
Yes, we reached 500 subscribers on YouTube. I know it doesn't sound like a big deal, but it kind of is a big deal.
It is for us because
it is for us.
We said August of this year. If not, we're going to quit this whole thing. And it happened.
I mean, the podcast still goes up to YouTube. It's just not a video anymore. It's just audio, but people still listen to it. So kudos to that.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of that had to do with us pushing our Virgin Voyages vlogs lately.
Yeah, definitely. Which you should go check out.
Definitely go check those out. The last one, the finale, if you will, will be up this Saturday. So by the time you hear this, it's already out. Go look at it.
So you should have seen it by now.
Yes.
And if you're wondering where our video podcast has gone, we're now streaming on Spotify. The video is now on Spotify. Has been for a while. But definitely wanted you to know, in case you're wondering, where the hell did the video go? How do I see videos but no podcast? So
you gotta go to Spotify.
Yes. How are you doing, sir?
I am well. Work has been work, but it's been pretty. I almost said fun, but it's work. But they say if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. But that's still not true because it's still work.
It's still work. At the end of the day, you work. You
right.
Gotta get up and you gotta work. It's not like, oh, I'm going to charter the yacht today.
Exactly. But I've gotten to do a couple of creative projects, which I love when I get to, flex my creativity. And that's been fun. But yeah, this has been a good week and I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. This light behind us is flickering and it's distracting me out of the corner of my eye.
Oh my Lord.
I'm doing good. I'm doing well. Good is a lot. I'm doing okay.
Okay.
And that's all we can be.
Do you need your emotions, Will?
I don't need my emotions.
Okay.
I journaled this morning.
So did I. Know that you bought us journals.
Yeah, we have these positive affirmation journals. What it is, right?
Sure.
Because it doesn't let you be negative. So I'm going to call it a positive affirmation journal. Even though I'll go in there and write a note like, this happened today and I was not happy. So.
I mean, it lets you choose an emotion for that day, though. Which one of them is?
Upset, angry.
Yeah.
Wait, it's only one?
One emotion?
Yeah. You can only pick one?
I thought that was what it said. Did I read it wrong?
I don't know. I've been circling whatever I felt.
I mean, it's your journal. You can do what you want.
It's a whole day.
Okay.
There's an AM and a PM to this thing. And then, it's a cycle of emotions all day. Maybe I woke up pissed off, but then by the end of the day, I was excited.
And that's fine. I feel like you can do what you want to do. It's your journal.
You're right. It's my journal. Anyways, thank you again for joining us. If you're new here, please make sure you subscribe or follow along MASXP 23. Let's jump into the mix.
You're in the mix.
Welcome back to the I don't know what to say. Welcome back to the Mixtape.
You'll say all for you?
Oh, welcome to the All For You tour.
I went to that tour. It was amazing.
Because it was all for you.
It was all for me.
Just you.
Just
nobody else.
nobody.
That's great. So we have two main topics in our mixtape today. We're going to start off with Sean's produced, and then we'll go from there.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Sean's Corner. We don't do that anymore. That was the old podcast. But for all of you that have been here from the beginning, welcome to my corner. Today, I have a bit of a sad story. It has happened once again. Depending on who you believe is telling the truth in this story. On May 3rd, a young man by the name of Roger Fortson, he is 23 years old. He is a black male. He is in the Air Force.
What?
Was in the Air Force. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Was in the Air Force. Tragically, he was shot and killed by police in his own home. And I'm going to tell you what happened. So I heard about this story the other day and I showed Manny. But today I have new information. They have released
press release.
They have released the body cam footage of what happened on CNN. If you want to watch it, I will say that it is, graphic warning. You see it all.
Oh, wow. They didn't blur.
They blurred out his face, and I believe they blurred out where he was shot. But like, other than that, you see the whole exchange. So apparently what happened was the police department got a phone call for a disturbance at this apartment complex. It was for a specific unit. When the police got there, there was a woman. I don't want to bring race into this, but whatever.
You're just stating the facts.
I'm just saying the facts. There was a white woman who told them she heard a noise when she walked by and she thought it sounded like a slap.
Wait. So, walk into my apartment and I'm like, oh no, I heard somebody clear as day just get slapped in that apartment.
Well, they apparently there was a disturbance. I don't know what kind of disturbance. There was noise. And she was like, it happens all the time, but today, for whatever reason, she said it sounds like it's escalated.
Okay.
She got I don't know if because in the body cam video, I don't hear her tell them the exact apartment number.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I read from the family's attorney, she said that she was walking by, but she couldn't really tell where it was coming from or what apartment it was coming from.
Like, I know apartments are like paper thin.
Right.
But I don't know that I can
pinpoint exactly.
And that it was a slap.
That whole part was
like, if you're arguing, yeah, I could probably be like, okay, somebody was arguing in there.
Right.
But like a slap, like that could have been anything.
So the officer goes up to the door. He knocks on the door, says whatever department it is, law enforcement, steps away from the door.
Hillsborough County? It wasn't Hillsborough County.
No one comes to the door. And so he knocks again, even louder, announces who he is.
Hillsborough County, open door.
The young man opens the door. He has his firearm in his hand, down to his side. His finger's not on the trigger. And as soon as he opens the door, the officer steps into the apartment. You can see he steps 1 foot into the apartment, raises his gun. It says drop the weapon and shoots him 4 times. The man falls to the ground and he says drop the weapon. And the boys on the ground saying the gun is over there. And
the gun fell out of his hand, obviously.
Right. And you just you hear him say drop the weapon. He is obviously trying to catch his breath because he's been shot in the chest. And then the officer radioed shots fired. This is what all happened in the body cam footage. Now, before I saw that footage, his family put out a statement saying that the police department went to the wrong apartment. They said that the police did not announce who they were and hid from the peephole. And that they didn't have a reason to shoot him because even though he did have his gun, he didn't know who was at the door. That is what the family was saying.
Okay.
Now, here's the twist and the caveat. So the body cam footage is released. So the police department is on their shit defending that they did announce who they were. In the vibe, you can see that he did announce whatever. But he was home alone. Him and his dog. He was on FaceTime with his girlfriend when this happened. So from her telling of what happened is he heard a knock on the door. He said, "Who is it?" He didn't hear anything. Then you hear another knock on the door. He went to go grab his gun. It is a registered gun. He's allowed to have it.
Lawful gun.
It's Florida. So he answers the door with the gun again to his side. He's not pointing at anybody. And she hears him. The next thing she knows, she hears the shots and hears him saying, "I can't breathe." So now it's a battle between,
police and family.
Yes. And apparently this is the same police department. I don't know if you remember that story a few months back where the officer started shooting because of the acorn fell out the tree.
Mm-hmm.
It's that same department.
Oh, so we're trigger happy.
That is what it seems like to me. Now, regardless of whether they announced themselves or did not announce themselves, I can't make a judgment call on that because he was, from the accounts, the actual facts, he was in the house with his dog playing video games and being on FaceTime with his girl. So you could hear a knock on the door and somebody say something and you couldn't hear them. That's very possible.
I mean, they bang on the door.
Right.
They come. So that's pretty much what you hear.
And the other part is that, yes, he did bang on the door, but he did step away from the doors. I know that's probably police training, right? Like, you don't want to be directly in a doorway.
You don't want to be ambushed.
Exactly. Yeah. So, one, you could announce yourselves and say police department, blah, 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 and step away from the door. And then I go to the peephole and I don't see nobody.
Yeah, I'm going to get my gun too.
I'm going to get my gun. Which he had every right to do.
Which, now that you say it, yeah, that is normal when we've seen like videos on YouTube where people are serving warrants or whatnot. They bang and then they kind of like
step out of the way. Yeah. So if he had banged on the door and the boy didn't hear him, right? And he went to the door, he looked through the peephole. I don't see nobody. Then you hear another knock and then they step out of frame yet again and say police department, law enforcement, whatever. You could think anything. Like, they could be anybody.
Yeah. I mean, hell, when they came banging on our door once, the EMS, I thought it was some.
Right.
I thought it was somebody trying to break the fuck in the house.
And I know that it's clear that there can be two sides of the story. But the family are like, you obviously went to the wrong apartment because you're getting called for a disturbance.
And why do we need a gun out for disturbance?
Right. To me, a disturbance is either somebody is arguing back and forth, a domestic, or somebody's playing music too loud. But the lady describes someone being slapped. So if this man is home by himself, it's just him and his dog. What disturbance are they causing?
Yeah.
There was, because you can hear in the body cam footage when he walks up to the door, you can't hear anything. So it's not like he was playing his video games too loud, because he was talking to his girlfriend on FaceTime.
Yeah, he had him on mute like Sean does when he's talking to his family.
So it's sad. And right now,
And he was a member of the military or
Yes.
former military.
so I'm going to tell you, so they took him to the hospital. He died at the hospital later on. The deputy that is
4
involved
shots to the chest.
was placed on administrative leave with pay. That's just something. But this young man was assigned to the 4th Special Operations Squadron as a special missions aviator, excuse me, where one of his roles as a member of the squad was to load the gunship's 30 millimeter and 105 millimeter cannons during missions. This story is reminiscent of 2018 when the young lady thought she was entering her apartment and it belonged to a single black male. She was like, "What are you doing in here?" She shot and killed him. She was on trial. She was sentenced to 10 years for doing that. In 2019, a Texas officer fatally shot someone through a rear window of her home after responding to a non-emergency call reporting that the front door was open. Again, being in the wrong fucking place. And he was found guilty of manslaughter in 2022 and was sentenced to 12 years in prison. I understand that we are all humans and we all make mistakes, but law enforcement, y'all are the actual law. So I don't understand how we go on half-ass information and we want to go guns drawn immediately.
I mean, yes, I agree with you in that point. And we know somebody who doesn't work directly in law enforcement, and they tried explaining to us that, they go in because they don't know what the situation is. Where I always have the issue with, why 4 times?
And that person's explanation to us was that when they are taught that when they draw their weapon and they fire their weapon, they are trained to eliminate the threat, which means that once I shoot, I have to shoot to make sure that you are dead. I'm not shooting to maim you. I'm not shooting to slow you down. That's what tasers and mace and all of that is for. But when they draw their firearm and they fire, then it is to eliminate the threat, is the words that he used. So I want to make sure that I'm using the correct verbiage.
Which, I don't want to sympathize too much with the cop here, but obviously you're going into a situation you don't know what's going on. So probably why you had your gun drawn, but
I get that. But to play devil's advocate with that, the civilian also does not know what is going on.
No, that's 100% correct. All I know is somebody's banging on my door.
Especially
so
when
he has the right to also empower himself.
Especially when you're at the wrong home.
Right. Because you as a cop, yes, I was called for quote unquote disturbance.
Right.
Me, I'm sitting home playing video games, chilling, talking to my girl, and all of a sudden somebody's recklessly banging on my door.
What if, so let's use the example that you use, because you got woken up very early in the morning by someone knocking on the door. It turns out it was EMS, not for us, but for our neighbors across the street. Now, had that been somebody called in for a break-in or something, and they got the wrong house and they come knocking on our door, guns drawn, you're going to wake up in the middle of the night and be like, what the fuck is going on?
No, 100. And I don't have a gun.
It could have been a report. There's a Latino man breaking into my house and they come knocking on the door and be like,
no, I'm not giving the cop the pass.
I'm not
on this situation. I'm just saying that, yes, I understand why he had a gun drawn, because that is part of their training. Where I just have the problem is how he one, tried to sidestep into the house. You have not been allowed to come into this house. Right?
Right.
You didn't ask questions.
Not a single question. The boy literally opened the door and literally the cop foot in, gun, bow, bow, bow. The boy fell. That is what happened. When he said, drop the weapon, the boy was already on the ground.
That shit came first.
Yeah.
I mean, and this is where this bothers me as well, is that we watch a lot of YouTube, like people getting arrested, blah, blah, blah. The amount of time we see cops give people the opportunity to drop a weapon
Or stop doing something
is mind-boggling. And then these type of situations happen, and you're like, what the fuck happened there?
I fully support law enforcement, and I don't want anyone to think that we don't hear. But that does not mean that there aren't people on law enforcement that shouldn't be on law enforcement.
Right. Like, his first thing should have been like, sir, I need you to drop the gun.
Right.
And I'm sure this is the fucking military person. I'm sure he would have been like, I'm going to drop the gun. I'm dropping the gun, right? Now, if he gave you pause or something, then I would understand at that point why you may shoot. But
right.
He was literally answering and this, we're not making this up. This is off the camera footage. It's telling the tale that happened. What seems happened, the cops saw the gun and automatically went in to eliminate the threat.
Yes. Which, I mean, I get it. But at the same time, like, you did not give this young man, an opportunity to lower the weapon. You didn't give this man an opportunity. You didn't ask him a question. It was just shoot. And
he went with the assumption that this was the right place.
Right.
So
there was a lot of things wrong here.
Right. Like, if you're going to a house, I get knocking on the door, probably gun drawn because of what the lady said. Not knowing what was behind the door, but it shouldn't have led to automatically shooting this young man.
I feel like that was the first wrong step, is this woman not knowing exactly what apartment it was, but pointing to or giving direction that it was this apartment, and it wasn't this apartment. Right. And that is what the family is arguing. And I know that the police department are trying to say one thing and the family is saying another, but like, it clearly doesn't fit their narrative that a disturbance was happening in this apartment. Right. And I just feel really bad for this young man's family. He always wanted to be in the Air Force since he was a kid. He finally made it there. He was living in this apartment because it was off base, which they are allowed to do. But it's just tragic and senseless because he was only 23, and I mean, he was doing the right thing. Like, he was protecting himself. He doesn't know who's at the door, and he wasn't aiming the gun. The gun was at his side, and he just never had a chance to even say anything before he was shot.
Right. Yeah, it was definitely not handled correctly, and the police department can say what it wants. That's not a way to approach, one, uncertainty. You don't even know if this is the place, first of all. So we have an undefined place of where we're going.
Right.
And then we're already guns blazing. Now, had that young man started pulling up his gun, then obviously, the police officer has the right to defend
himself. And that would have been
himself.
on the body cam footage, and you wouldn't be able to dispute that.
But with what you're telling me from the body cam footage, this should have never happened. The first thing should have been drop the gun.
Not when he's on the ground.
Because now he's gone at that point. Yeah. You shot him 4 times in close proximity, I assume. I didn't watch the video, disclaimer.
But it's going to remind people of what happened to Breonna Taylor, right? It's going to remind people of like the one in Dallas that I talked about. Like, people I know this country loves its fucking guns and they love their law enforcement. But like, we just have to be smarter about a weapon that can literally take away someone's life.
Right.
I get it. You use it for moments where your life is in jeopardy and it's either you or them. But at some of these situations, most of these people are unarmed or in minding their business in the place where they should be. And you are the thing that should not be here.
Yeah. A lot of these people that have unfortunately passed due to this were just minding their business.
Minding in their own homes, minding their business.
You know, where we should feel the safest.
Right. But I just wanted to bring light to that story and say sorry to his family, and hopefully this gets resolved quickly.
Yeah, I mean, there needs to be, you know, I know people say Democrats want to eliminate the police. And I truly don't feel that's what Democrats mean when they say defund the police. They truly mean take out the military-esque style of approaching a house call to allow people. I mean, we don't need to be going guns blazing like we're going out in Afghanistan when we were fighting the war there. Like, there's no reason to go into a disturbance call like that.
No. And we watched that thing on YouTube, or the news clip on YouTube the other day about a conference they had here in Florida where the guy was teaching cops how to deal with minorities, how to deal with sex workers. And the things that he was telling them aren't things that I feel like they would learn in like the academy, but how to get away with certain things.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, these are the people that we're talking about. When you hear people say fuck the police or all police are bad, like a couple of bad apples will spoil the bunch for all of y'all. But
it's like Congress.
Right.
A couple of specific Republicans continue to derail any kind of bipartisan work.
Exactly. And I know that not all police officers are bad. But
no, we've seen plenty of good ones.
We have
on YouTube. Like there's been cases where I'm like, I wouldn't have given them that many chances. I would have threw your ass in the car.
Right. We have seen it. We've seen the one that shows up and he ain't with the shits. And he's just like, fuck this, you're coming here.
Right.
You're doing this.
So, I mean, there's definitely cops out there that want to do good. And it just seems like the wrong cop showed up here.
Yes.
And I don't know if they were just scared. And
you shouldn't be a police officer.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what kind of psychological training cops go through on a consistent basis. I'm sure there's something at the beginning. But like, there needs to be some kind of like training that is about high stakes situations. Because I assume for the cop, that was a high stake situation. But like going in and guns blazing, just not even giving that young man the opportunity. Like you just fuck somebody's whole family. And he wasn't even the one doing anything. Did they find anything on the disturbance?
That part has not been. If they have, they're keeping that under wraps, but that has not been released. But whoever called, when I was reading comments, people were like, one, we need to find that lady in the beginning of the video and question her. Because it's like, if you pointed this man to this apartment and this boy died, and like you didn't know where the disturbance was, you should have said that.
Right. I mean, she can't go to jail, but
I know she can't go to jail, but like
they can sue. What is a civil lawsuit?
Yeah. I don't know. It's just sad.
It's a sad situation, and I get the training the cops get, but like sometimes I think emotions maybe strike into the cop and they may do something that they didn't mean to do.
Right. And I feel like some of them, again, not all of y'all, some of them have very big like ego and power trip problems.
Yeah.
Where they feel like this is my chance to take all out this anger and that the world has against me and put it on you, and you're the reason for this or that. Or maybe some of them just don't like certain people.
Yeah, I mean,
and what can you do
let's
about
face it, there's racism in every industry. The person you work to next to you might be racist.
Right.
So there could have been a little bit of a race card there too, but nothing's going to bring this young man back, unfortunately. And it's sad that it was such actions were taken off of one call and a potential, I think it's that apartment.
Right.
And, honestly, if I was a cop, I'd be like, I'm sorry, ma'am, you heard somebody slap somebody through the door?
It just blew my mind when I heard that part. And when she was also like, I was walking through the hall, I don't know exactly which apartment it was coming from.
Like, if you're in the house with the door closed and somebody gets slapped, you would probably hear that. Your main door to your house,
I don't know.
Unless you're standing right next to the door.
Right.
And you, as the person walking in the hallway, have your ear to the door. You probably didn't. It could have been somebody dropping a fucking can or something. It's an apartment, for God's sakes.
That's the thing about apartment complexes. Somebody could be in the middle one making a cake, using the blender.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody up top is doing exercises. Somebody at the bottom is listening to a movie real loud. Like,
there's all kinds of scenarios.
Anyway.
All right. Well, that, yeah. We will move on from that story, and now we'll talk something less serious.
Let's have some fun.
We're going to talk about the 2024 Met Gala, which is themed with Gardens of Time. Mm-hmm. The Met Gala returned on the first Monday in May with its annual celebration for the Costume Institute's upcoming exhibit for 2024, entitled Sleeping Beauty, Reawakening Fashion, Honey. Ooh. Guests, meanwhile, dressed to the theme of the Garden of Time, which is inspired by the J.G. Ballard short story of the same name. Sure. The Met Gala is also known as the Costume Institute's benefit of the Met Ball and charity events held at the Metropolitan Museum of Arts in New York City. So, there was a lot of hots and nots at the Met Gala, and we are not typical Met Gala watchers. We did cover it last year.
You did.
This year, it was playing in the background as we were sitting on the couch.
We were just watching people walk in and listening to the photographers yell them to make different
poses.
moves.
Oh my God, the photographers are so mean. I would have been like, bitch, I'm here. Okay, I'm here on this runway, and you just need my picture to collect your coins. So you're going to stop yelling at me, sweetie. Anyways, this year's hosts, did you know who the hosts are? There's always a panel of hosts for the Met Gala.
I know Chris Hemsworth was one.
Yes.
I only know that because, I don't know, I saw it somewhere. Anna Wintour, of course.
I mean, she's the queen bitch.
How many seats?
I don't know.
Okay,
I'm just going to tell you.
All right, thank you, because I don't know no more.
Zendaya.
Oh, Zendaya was on there.
Yes. Jennifer Lopez. And Bad Bunny as co-chair for the evening.
Wow.
Sponsors were TikTok and Lowe's.
What is it? I'm sorry, what?
No, that's
TikTok and Lowe's?
No, what is that?
Oh, Low. That's
Low. My bad. I did this really late last night.
I was like,
The home improvement store has
build the stage?
They built the stairs that lead up to the gala. Anyways, I had no clue Bad Bunny was actually
a co-chair.
A co-chair.
What does a co-chair do?
I don't have a fucking clue, honestly.
Give me on the keys. What does a co-chair?
I did not. That would have been a good question for me last night.
Okay, I'm gonna try to see if I can find
This year's event has raised $26 million for the Met. We're going to retake that. This year's event raised about $26 million for the Metropolitan Museum of Art's Costume Institute, according to a spokesperson. That's a $4 million increase over last year. Do you want to know why it's a $4 million increase?
inflation.
The seats went from $50,000 to $75,000 this year.
That's a lot of money.
In 2015, in 2022, the gala was $35,000.
In 2022.
2022, yes.
Okay.
And tickets in 2015 cost exactly a third of what they are now. I am not good at math, so you can figure that shit out on your own. Right?
I know what a co-chair does.
What? Oh, go ahead.
Did you time stop for you?
The world stopped in that very moment in my head.
So co-chairs of the Met Gala helped plan the event, which is the primary fundraiser for the museum's Costume Institute. Their duties include committee work, helping to ensure the success of the event by participating in discussion and decisions, theme, helping to choose the evening's theme, the guest list, they get to curate the list, the menu. I feel like I'm in Hamilton.
Yeah,
I arrange the menu, the seating, the venue, decoration, red carpet, being the first to arrive on the red carpet to set the tone for the dress code.
All right, honey. I didn't even know Bad Bunny showed up early.
And publicity, representing and publicizing the event. And they also give speeches.
Oh, wow. Also, you can buy a table for $350,000.
I don't know who's doing that.
From what I learned is a lot of the name brands,
The houses,
and a Wintour, honey. They will purchase the tables for $350,000.
So it's like if Balenciaga dresses a celebrity, they'll buy them a table.
They'll pick who they want to dress and sit at said table.
Well, that's fine with me because I'm like, I'm not paying $350 to sit at a table.
I'm not paying $75,000 to get in.
I'm not doing that either. I mean, I'll donate to charity, but like, nah. I get it. Being at the Met Gala is probably like an honor.
I don't know. It felt like everybody was there this time. I'm a mess today. So we picked top 3 looks that we enjoyed. And then top 3 that made you go, what was you thinking?
Okay.
And then we have some honorable mentions. All right.
Okay.
Here you go. I'll let you read this because I cannot see it.
Okay. First up, we have, and forgive me if I murder your name, Anuk Yain. Anuk Yai.
If you're on Spotify, you can see the picture of what the hell we're talking about.
She was dressed in so my God, this word always beats my ass.
If you
Swarovski?
Yeah, sure. If you listened last year, I fucked them all up. Hence why I'm not doing it this year.
The supermodel walked the carpet in an ombre catsuit covered in tens of thousands of Swarovski crystals.
Swarovski crystals.
I mean, I love that.
I thought she looked beautiful.
It looks like it just blends into her body. It's giving me very much Mystique from the X-Men.
She looks gorgeous. And it looks simple.
Yeah.
But it's gorgeous. The color brings out everything.
Yeah.
It's like blue with dark blues, full arm coverings up to the shoulder, paired with a nice stilettos, I assume.
A nice stiletto.
She looks gorgeous.
She looks good. I love this look. I'm gonna have to look up the rest of her picture so I can see the rest of it.
And then we have our co-chair, or our chair. I don't know what the fuck she is.
She's the co-chair.
Jennifer Lopez in a custom.
Ooh. Schiaparelli.
Schiaparelli, House of Schiaparelli.
Couture.
Beautiful dress. It reminds me of the green dress she wore to the Grammy.
Are we talking about the famous dress?
The famous dress, the green famous dress.
It kind of does.
It's not, she's not naked in this one.
No.
But the body type of it looks the same, except it is beautiful beige.
It's beige. Somebody made a comment about that on Twitter. Like, a lot of people showed up in beige.
Yeah.
And they were like, and then some people were like, they took the theme too literal because.
That's where you're going to see when we get to the bad ones.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
J-Lo looks beautiful up there.
She looks good. And J-Lo.
Girl, you 50-something years old. Do it.
J-Lo doesn't miss on a red carpet. Y'all cannot like her music, but like, y'all can't deny that she dresses like.
She should have gone the model route.
No
She never
other.
did like model.
But it's not too late. She can do it.
I know, yeah. It's never too late.
It's never too late.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the one and only Cardi B and her ginormous Ursula looking gown. And I say Ursula in not a disrespectful way. That is the only way I can describe this
It's
thing.
very much giving Ursula.
It is humongous. I saw 8 men carry. She like shuffled and they had to like carry the dress. The dress was heavy. For them to move the dress, she had to hold on to somebody's hand. And then they rotated the dress. Cardi looks amazing. She got a bag and fixed her teeth.
She looks great from what I can see of her.
Now,
which is not a lot because the rest of it is swallowed up by
now I don't know how if it's the theme.
The theme is what? The garden time?
Yes.
Time something in the garden?
Mm-hmm. She's the last one to arrive.
She's giving me thundercloud. You know, maybe she's the rain. She waters the garden.
Oh, she probably took that shit off as soon as she walked in. She's like, where's my other gown, please?
I mean, great dress. You look great, Cardi.
Now, we're going to go to the worst as picked by this article I found. And then I narrowed it down even further.
Okay.
Lizzo, you are a friend of the pod. And you're wearing Victor Winsanto.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you were thinking or what Victor was thinking in this dress. It looks like a jellyfish on its back. And her head are the tentacles.
Oh, yes. That's the jellyfish head.
Yeah. And it's not very form-fitting in her midsection.
No, it's not. I don't like... At first, I thought this top part was like a cow. Like, you know, like...
Sure.
But then it looks like it's just... Now it looks like it's just a headpiece. So it looks like she has a whale tail on her head.
She looks uncomfortable.
That too.
And the thing covers her entire head.
Yeah.
It looks like a broken down jellyfish.
I don't like
a dead jellyfish. That's what it would be.
It's very... Yeah, I don't like it.
Move on, girl. Get out of here.
All right. We have Jordan.
If you don't watch us on YouTube or on Spotify, please just go watch the next 2 pictures. I just cannot.
Next, we have Jordan Roth and Custom Valentino.
The brand is there. They took the
very literal.
The garden very literal.
Okay, it looks like we are starting with baby growth at the top, and then you go through a adolescence, and then childhood, and then adulthood, and then death at the bottom.
Oh, wow, that's a beautiful interpretation of
because the flowers at the top there's a lot of greenery happening, a lot of greenery.
So the rise and fall of a garden.
Here, there's a lot of blooming happening, a little budding, okay, if you will. Then we have blossoming, and then at the bottom we have wilting.
It still looks like shit.
It does look a mess. I'm not going to lie, but also I'm not a fashionista.
I don't need to be a fashionista to tell you That is an ugly ass dress.
It is not no, it is no.
Instead of baby Groot, it's like broken down flower Groot.
That would make a good Halloween costume.
Sure.
All right.
And our final bad look is Jessica Sefratati.
Michael.
When I saw this picture, all I could think about was the flowers you used to make with that like tinsely paper.
Uh-huh.
You don't know what I'm talking about? And I think about arts and crafts and like
no, I know what you're talking about.
Elementary school, and you would take that crumbly paper and you would make a flower and then you would stick it to paper.
Yeah.
That's what her dress looks like.
It does. It very much is given that.
Her garden came out of a kindergarten's classroom. That's what her gown looks like. I mean, you interpreted the concept of the Met Gala, but you also like, it looks like shit. I'm sorry. It looks like shit.
I want to see it open because it looks like it opens. No?
Sure.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe she's like the Kardashian who came out with the broken down sweater.
Kim?
Yeah, Kim. I didn't include this, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. Kim Kardashian was wearing what seemed to be a decent looking dress. And then she put on a sweater that looks like she got it from the Gap over it. And everybody's like, she was having a dress malfunction. And then I found a video where she's like, no, it's intentional. She said that it was like a gown representing a night out. And then you were leaving your boyfriend's house and it was cold and you grabbed and I'm paraphrasing, okay? And you grabbed his jacket and you left for the evening. And I was just like,
oh no, this looks even worse now.
I don't know what Kim Kardashian was doing. That was the mess. Oh, we're looking at the dress. Oh, it gets worse.
It does. What happened?
The kindergarten flowers, the dress is actually worse than the picture we have.
Oh my God.
It has a tail of the paper mache flowers.
I don't like this. I don't like it at all.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We should have added Kim Kardashian, but I think people would have been like, oh, it's because you don't like the Kardashians, but whatever.
I don't care about the Kardashians at all.
I'm like, okay, you came up with the concept, cute, but the sweater really distracted everybody from the dress.
I mean, I get the concept, I get the theme, but I don't get.
But nobody gets to hear the concept, right? Like,
right?
We have to. It's like when you go look at art, you don't understand the concept
because art is subjective, and so is that dress you're wearing,
right? Like, I know we were just talking about crocheted flowers or whatever, but I had to talk about Kim Kardashian because I'm like, what were you doing? And everybody that I saw on TikTok thought she had a dress malfunction, but no, I ran into a video where she literally explained her look, and the sweater was always part of it. Sean's looking it up right now. The dress is pretty.
The dress is pretty.
The sweater, not needed. Or maybe it should have been something in the fabric of that dress. And then the way she maneuvered around the walkway with it looked like she was hiding her titties. And she's never hiding her titties. So I don't know why she's hiding them today.
Okay, so like here you can see it without the sweater. Mm-hmm. Like if there was no sweater, right. And it's a gorgeous dress.
It is a beautiful dress. The
sweater was not needed.
Maybe that was her artistic touch to it. Zendaya did look beautiful.
Zendaya always looks beautiful. Yeah.
Anyways, let's move on to the last three because we are running out of time.
All right. So the last three, go ahead.
The last two are Bad Bunny, Nicki Minaj, and I forgot his name because I did not put it in there.
No, you put Nicki Minaj.
Oh my God. Wow.
Sir, what is your name? All right, I'm going to talk about Nicki's outfit while we wait for him to find out this man.
Go ahead.
It's cute. It's a cute yellow dress. And there's flowers on it. She's got a nice little bob going on here. And it's cute.
Now, two of these people were voted most on
Theme?
theme.
Which one? Which two?
What do you want to guess first, or
Bad Bunny?
Bad
And
Bunny?
I'm gonna say this man, not Nicki.
Nope, Nicki Minaj.
Oh.
So Nicki Minaj is actually one of the on-theme girls
Okay.
because the floral dress that she has on had some resemblances of what's featured on in the exhibit. So even though it may look a little out of place,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Nicki's dress resembles what that other lady tried to do
With the scrunchy flowers.
with the scrunchy flowers, like Nicki Minaj did.
But her flowers don't look scrunchy. Her flowers look.
And I guess I shouldn't blame the artists because they're being dressed.
Yeah, they didn't make it.
I mean, they signed up for it. And who's the other person that you think is on point here? You said Bad Bunny.
I said Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny is the other person that was on here and on point. His outfit actually resembles a character from The Garden of Time, the short story that inspired this year's theme.
Yeah, for Nicki and Bad Bunny. Who's this other man?
He looked really, really good in it. And people were calling him like a Spaniard.
Well, when I first saw him, I thought he was a bullfighter.
Oh, I did that. I thought that too.
But apparently he's not a bullfighter.
He is not a bullfighter in this. It is definitely a character out of that short story. And as he should, because he, how do you say? He was co-chair.
Right, he's co-chair. So he should be on theme. Oh, that's that good.
And yes, Bad Bunny, we saw you hanging out with Kendall afterwards and leaving the hotel at the same time together. We are not here for that, okay?
People can just be friends after they break up.
No.
Who's this other man?
No. All right, so I said two of the three were most on theme. I just put this third person because I thought they were cute. His name is Omar Apollo. In what?
Low.
And Low. Not sponsored by Lowe's,
Not
but
Lowe's.
the House of Low. And he was actually listed as one of the best dressed and making a black suit look amazing.
I saw a lot of them had black suits on. And I'm just like, so did y'all not try?
I mean, if somebody pay, I mean, it's not the artist's fault. It's whoever's dressing.
I mean, fair, but whatever. I don't give a shit. It's fine.
Anyway,
That was the Met Gala.
That was the Met Gala. We hope you enjoyed our preview. We're going to put a link into the description. So if you want to go see more looks, or if you are like, no, that paper mache dress of flowers looked amazing, then, you can inbox us that. And, we can have a conversation about that, I guess.
Yeah, sure. We love the Met Gala.
We love the Met Gala. Anyways, let's go on to what's your issue? Hello, we hope you didn't miss us too long over that little musical number. Do you have an issue today?
No.
I don't have an issue today either. Yes, I do. Hold on. Let me open my phone again. This happened today, y'all. And I got so annoyed when I saw it. So annoyed that I obviously closed out the article I was reading.
So can you find it?
I don't know. Probably not. Well, that's great. I'm glad you have joined us on this episode. It was essentially some Republican saying that we shouldn't infringe on parents' rights to allow children under the age of 18 to marry, and the government should not get involved in such things.
Oh, y'all don't want the government to get involved with that, but you'll get involved with everything else.
Yeah, I'm just like, then why can't we allow a mom and dad to decide if their child needs to receive an abortion or if the child is ready for that transition into the gender that they associate with.
You know why? Because you're nasty. You're nasty.
And that's pretty much what they think. But, you know, if you're under 18, you could definitely, you know, why would we prevent two people? And I'm paraphrasing. He said something along the lines, why would we prevent two people that are in love and that the parents support from getting married?
Because it's nasty.
No, he wants the kids to be able to get married.
I know, but that's nasty. Why should kids? Why are we marrying kids off to? First of all, don't get it twisted. It's not marrying kids and kids. It's not like a 12-year-old and a 14-year-old got married. They talking about kids under 18 marrying grown ass adults. Is what they're talking about.
Listen, I didn't say it. He said it. I'll link the article if you want to go read it. I just thought it was so disturbing. And I really didn't need to read that on a Friday afternoon. Gay, straight, bi, or whatever. Nobody needs to be married under the age of 18. Nobody. Please go live your life. Don't be getting married. It's nasty. But that's what they think about us. So here we are.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. I know this has been a whirlwind of an episode, but we hope you've enjoyed it.
You should expect nothing less.
I mean, truly, nothing less.
A hot mess express. That's what we should have called the podcast. Hot Mess Express.
Listen to the Hot Mess Express podcast.
Memorial Day is coming up, y'all. Definitely get your Memorial Day plans in order. Don't forget, Memorial Day is honoring those who have passed in service and not current veterans or people in the military. I don't say this to be rude, but I wasn't told. I once overheard somebody who was told, Happy Memorial Day. Thank you for your service. And they proceeded to say, this is not a day for me. It's a day to honor
the dead.
So, you know, they have Veterans Day later on in the year. So pick or choose who you want to say Happy Memorial Day to appropriately. Yes. So you don't look stupid in front of other people. But with that, we're out of here.
Oh my God. Yes.
We hope you had a wonderful time listening to us. And we hope you'll come back next time. And we hope you'll follow our social.
Yeah, you can do that by typing in MASXP23. Just try that on all social and see what comes up.
First fucking thing that comes on, you subscribe to it.
Yes, do that. And you can also email us, mannyshana@gmail.com. We also have a link in our bio on Instagram where you can
submit your stories and questions.
And
we did not get to it today, but we will get to you next week.
Yes.
Is that the last weekend before Memorial Day?
No. There's one more. I think.
I need a 3-day
weekend.
What
day is it? All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining us. Y'all have a good evening, good morning, good night, whenever you're listening to this. He is rambling. I'm going to just end the podcast now. Thanks for joining us.
All right. Bye.